This is 9 in 9, Enneagram Wisdom for Life. Let's dive in. Hi, Merran.
Hi.
I am so glad to have you, and I would love to hear, when did you first learn about the Enneagram? How did you know you were an Enneagram 6? Tell us kind of your discovery story.
Well, it was several years ago. I don't know exactly how many, but my husband's constantly reading and listening to podcasts and things. In fact, this might have been before his podcast journey, but anyway, he had read Ian Cron's book about the Enneagram and was just like, it's phenomenal. And in our years together, we had done many personality tests.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, another personality test, great. But he, just in talking about it, it sounded different and interesting. So I read the book, and as I was working through it, I was like, oh, I'm definitely a 9, because 9s have a really hard time, or can have a hard time making decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a hard time making decisions. I get stuck and I just play out the, if this and that scenario for into eternity. And so I was like, I'm a 9, and they seem so nice and kind.
Yeah.
And I was like, surely that's me, And then as I kept reading and talking to Phil, my husband, about it, he emphasized, and Ian does too, that really it's your core motivation that types you,
Yes.
And so when I realized the 6 looks at the world through the lens of like fear and insecurity and worry, I was like, oh, well, that's me. I'm definitely a 6, because I play out like always kind of, okay, worst case scenario, we're going to do this, that, the other. All right, what am I going to need? What could happen, And I was like, yeah. That I am a 6. I'm not a 9, and I'm not afraid of conflict. And 9s can be very afraid of conflict. So
And 6s are also very sweet and kind as well as 9s.
Hopefully.
So, yeah, but that's a really good point. I think if somebody has done a lot of personality assessment, they're very used to it being behavior types. Yes. And, the reason the Enneagram is complex and interesting is that it's dealing with the subconscious, not the conscious. So that is such a huge differentiator. Yeah. And so, okay, so as a 6, motivation to be secure and experience security by being prepared, responsible, and doing your duty.
Yeah.
What is the hardest part about that as you walk through your daily life?
It's definitely the mental load of it all, because, like I said, I tend to think about the next thing and go, okay, what are the 6 scenarios that could happen? What do I have to be prepared for? I don't typically just jump into things like, okay, let's go, let's walk out the door.
Right.
It's like, okay, I need always water, always have my water, and all the things, and just the worry and the guilt of, am I doing enough? Did I not do enough? But at the same time, it's the only way that I can operate, really, and it gives me the security that I need and kind of the time to process, and then go out in the world feeling like, okay, I can do this.
I can do this. Yeah. So the mental load, that rings true, I think, for a lot of 6s. Yeah. You mentioned having a hard time making decisions. What is that like?
I have been trying to find new pillows for my couch for, I don't know, years.
Okay.
And part of it is, the fiscal responsibility of, like, I don't want to buy some now and then be like, oh, I don't like this in a month and change. But it's also just like, all the factors that play into it, like the art. I do like changing my living room around, and so I knew I wanted to change the art behind the couch, and I hadn't liked that. So then I've got to it takes me a long time to decide on where I want to land there, and then finding I don't really want it to be matchy this time, and so I want to mix the patterns and the textures. I mean, it's just like if you give a mouse a cookie, it's that, and just I think I get paralyzed by the fear of what if I make a mistake? What if I make the wrong choice? And most people would be like, "Oh, I like that. Done." Or, "Okay, I want this, that, and the other," and they look it up online, or they go to the store, they find it, and boom, they're done. But I have to play out all this.
You have to play it all out in your mind. Yeah, I literally had no idea that couch pillows could have so many facets.
Yes,
so
it takes a very long time. It frustrates those around me.
Yeah, but it's that fear of what if there's a better decision? What if I'm not making the most responsible decision? What if, I have a 6 in my life that it's hard to order off the menu because what if a different thing is better than what I'm about to order? And just it's the what if, right? Yeah. The constant what if this and what if that? Okay, well, you mentioned also that you do eventually feel that sense of security and you feel ready to face the day with your water in hand. What are some other blessings or benefits that you see as a 6 in your life?
I think because I'm slower to do things and always thinking through things and processing all the different factors around me, that I'm aware of, my loved ones around me and friends and even strangers. I'm aware of how my presence is affecting them and my choices are affecting them, and taking that into consideration. And so while there's a lot going on in my head, I'm very focused on outwardly, what's going on around me. I think that's what I like the most about being a 6, just, the loyalist, just loyal to my loved ones and friends and just loving them along the way.
Yeah. I mean, what I hear you hitting on just in that statement is that as a number that is present in the present moment focused, is you are present with your people and you're aware of the people in the room and those around you, and this attention to the common good.
Yeah.
Like kind of always having everyone's good in mind.
Exactly.
Which can lead to some paralyzing thoughts, of course. Yeah. I love that about the 6, that they're present, focused, and very common good aware.
Oriented, yeah.
And I love that. Is there anything you wish that people knew about 6s?
Yeah, I feel like, if I weren't a 6 and I were to read about a 6, I would think, oh, they must be so type A, just controlling, can't leave the house because they have to, make sure that everything is just so, and they must run around kind of keeping their kids or loved ones from doing things that are too scary, And that's not how I am at all. I'm actually the laid back, slow. That goes with me, the 6, but just kind of the more, okay, let's just see how this plays out kind of person. And I am not. I hate being chained to a schedule. I don't like over controlling anything. Control is not my goal. Right. My goal is to just be safe no matter what comes at me. So 6s aren't all about controlling everything and being so scared that we can't do anything. It's just making sure that there's a soft place to land should we come up against things that, negative things.
Oh, that's good. I love that. Hey friends, wherever you are hearing or seeing this video, would you do us a favor and find our podcast on your favorite platform? It's called Living Well by Jen. We're working really hard to put out informative and helpful content about the Enneagram. And one way that you can support us It's simple, it's free, and it would mean the world is if you would follow the podcast and give us a 5-star rating or a review. Thanks so much.